Welcome to the Muskegon channel. It's Andy O'Reilly along with Ron Minzey, and I got to give Ron credit because Ron is one of these guys who I've been trying to get together with for about the last year.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
To get a story done. I'll give you credit for persistence, man. I apologize it's taken us this long.
No problem.
And it's twofold that it's taken me this while. One, I'm jealous of Ron because Ron has got a couple of the radio licenses I desire, and as long as I've been doing this, I haven't been able to get a ham radio operator's license, which is what you tell me about some of your ham radio operations back here. Talk about ham radio.
Well, I've got a general class amateur license,
Okay.
which means I can play on most of the bands. There's one class called an extra class, what I'd like to get. That
Okay.
means you can play on any band that's open, basically.
Yeah.
And behind us, we have a couple of 2-meter radios, a 10-meter rig that I use, and the 10-meter I can talk pretty much all over the United States and
Really?
and Europe or wherever, as long as the band is open. I've talked to Hawaii, I've talked to Britain, Yugoslavia,
No kidding.
all over.
And you can just make contact with people.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the early days of a chat room or a Facebook type thing.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
how people stayed in touch before the internet came along and all that. Is it still applicable today?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
What do people use it for today?
I use it for disasters. My 10-meter, I could actually, if they had a hurricane or something down in Florida, I could pick up messages from down there, relay them to people up here, stating that their loved ones are fine and out of harm. The 2-meter is used for a lot of local stuff, talking back and forth to friends and family. Also, I do Skywarn with it, which is weather chasing, and I've got a couple computers behind us where I have my radar and my weather or Skywarn stuff on it. So
Yeah.
It's
Fascinating stuff. It's the one thing I don't have is a ham radio operator's license, and I really want one. I really
We
do.
will get you one.
I know you
shortly.
will. It's a matter of getting there and getting the time to get it done. It's something that's always fascinated me, and you know I don't know that I can get into it as heavy as you have.
Right.
But I want to have that handheld ham radio operator because I go back to my youngest days and being fascinated with radio, and I think back to my grandma's old Grundig radio that had that world band on it.
Oh, yeah.
And you could go up and down, and I mean, you could read the dial, and it would say, this is where you can listen to the Vatican radio, and this is where you can pick all. I mean, that to me still. And I got an uncle that got that radio. I mean, when my grandma passed, that was supposed to go to me, but one of my uncles jumped in and got it. So,
And matter of fact, right down here at our feet is a Hamlin HQ180, which is an AM receiver, transmitter receiver. And those are old, but they still work.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still use those today to talk around the world.
That's
so
incredible.
It's just, like everybody calls it a boat anchor, but I mean, it's something that is used on a daily basis by a lot of people, a lot of ham radio operators.
I'm so jealous. I mean, this is all stuff that I would just love to have, but you know, you and I are a little different in media. You know,
Right.
I have to operate in high def and all this other
Right.
kind of stuff, and I mean that's okay. It doesn't matter how the message gets out. But you did bring up Skywarn.
Yes.
Talk about Muskegon County Skywarn a little bit.
Well, Muskegon County Skywarn was started quite a few years back. And what it is, it's through the National Weather Service. And basically, with us being in Muskegon, we're the first line of defense for all the other counties inland, because whatever happens here, that gives the NWS in Grand Rapids it helps them put out watches and warnings to depend on what's coming across. And I can watch stuff coming across the lake. I can see rotation. I can see hail, rain shafts, everything on my radar.
Yeah.
So I can let the NWS, National Weather Service, know what's coming across. And when it hits the lake shore, I can tell them, okay, we have a tornado on the ground. We can have severe thunderstorms. They can immediately put out a watch, a warning, an advisory, whatever is needed at that time.
So how does that work? How do you trigger that? I mean, you're watching it here. I get it. You're in your room. Slide over this way a little bit too. Get on camera. See, they want to see your good looking face out there.
There you go.
It's uncomfortable for two guys to be sitting. I know, but I mean, is it like do you send a text? Do you make a phone call?
I can send a text. I can make a phone call. And usually, if they have their ham radio up, I can contact them by their amateur radio that they have in their office. So there's a lot of different ways that I can actually contact them and let them know what's happening on this side.
Especially when we get to the spring and summer months, I've noticed that when weather comes into Muskegon, it may be a thunderstorm here or something like that, but generally when it gets let's say you get into about Casnovia, Ravenna,
Yep.
things like that. It's gotten a little time over the ground.
Yep.
It's gotten a chance to warm up a little bit, and that's when it really starts to
Yeah,
intensify.
it is, as we call it, it starts to pop.
Yep.
I mean, the pop-up, showers come in. We may get rain, a few strikes of lightning, this and that, but as it gets further in town, picks up more energy, stuff like that, it could produce a severe tornado, F1, F2, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've watched water spouts come across the lake and thinking, okay, it's going to dissipate when it hits the beach.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It turns right into an actual tornado.
No
Keeps right
kidding.
on going.
Really?
So, yeah. Matter of fact, I have one on my computer for my screensaver. I've got the last one that happened, I think it was 2 years ago.
Really?
Came off the lake and started, was tornadic and came right up on the beach and kept right on going.
No kidding.
Yes.
And what path did it follow? Where did it head?
That went north up by, I think it was North Muskegon, Twin Lake area.
Did it really?
There, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Right by our cottage.
Exactly.
Yeah, our cottage is in Twin Lake, and when we sit there and we look out over the lake, it faces due east, and we look out over there, and we can literally watch those storms come in, and again, it's Twin Lake, so it's maybe 10 miles in from Lake Michigan, and by the time it makes that 10 miles, we can watch the back end of those storms really build and take off to the east.
Oh yeah.
Or to the west.
Yep.
No, wait, east.
East.
Yeah, east. Get my northeast weather. I got to leave it to the professionals. But as we watch that thing go away, I'll call my mom over in Rockford and go, "Hey, storm's coming. We're watching right here from Twin Lake."
Yep.
That type thing. So, but you can see them come right across the lake and predict them just like that.
Yeah. I have a buddy of mine that camps out east by Ravenna all summer, and I'll be watching on the computer here, and I'll let him know on the radio or on the phone, like, "Hey, you better button things up. We got some heavy winds coming and whatever." And usually from here to his campground is like a 10-minute track, and then I'm letting him know he's got 10 minutes to make sure everything's secure. He's getting hit.
Go throw the tent in the trash and wish you had a trailer, right?
Exactly. It's like, take your fifth wheel and button it up, because guess what? We got a storm coming. So
you've got an event coming up.
Yes.
Talk about your event.
We have Muskegon County Field Day 2017. We're going to be down at Margret Drake Elliot Park.
Yep, right there by the channel.
Yep. Right on the channel.
Yep.
And that's going to be this Saturday, June 24th and Sunday 25th. We're going to put all of our radios out there. We're going to set up our stations. And we're going to make contacts all over the world.
Really?
We're going to try satellite contacts. We're going to do data show, CW, phone, which is talking through the microphone. And we're going to see how many contacts we can make. And it's sanctioned through the ARRL.
Okay.
And we get points for different things. And we're going to try to go green this year, which was strictly battery power and solar power. We are going to have generators in case somebody's battery goes dead that we can charge it back up or something. But we're going to try to go green as much as we can. Because if you do get a storm or some type of a disaster and we get called out, you don't know what you're going to have. You may not have power. You may not have whatever. So you have to figure out your own antenna, what type of power you're going to bring.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's our little training, scenario each year. But it's also fun because our families can come out, they can watch us, the public can come out and see what we do, and stuff like that. And it's just a fun time.
Yeah, so it's amazing. Is there any cost for people to come and watch?
No cost whatsoever. It's a 24-hour event. And you can come down and you can watch us. You can stay and have dinner, which we usually have a nice spread at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Cool.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Anybody that's interested in this, is this a good time to come down?
Yes, definitely. If you're interested in ham radio, anything, stop down. There's a lot of different setups going on, and most of the ham radio operators down there, they will talk your arm and leg off with no problem. We love to talk.
That's all. It's great. And for everything that I've done with my radio career and now into the multimedia things and all that kind of stuff, at heart, I'm still just a big radio nerd.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, walkie-talkies. I still have a walkie-talkie. Yeah. I don't have walkie-talkie, I mean CB radios.
Yeah.
I have a CB radio. I don't use it much up around here because we're not a through state.
Right.
If you get down to the interstate states where you're going Indiana, Ohio,
right,
down through there, God, I take my CB with me everywhere. And I just listen to everything that's going on. I mean, it's better than the radio.
Right.
Anything's better than the radio nowadays. But, I love to hear that kind of thing going on. And if you stop and think about it today, if you think about the way we communicate and how everything is online and how everything is communicated through the internet and all that stuff, that internet goes down.
Yeah.
we're stuck.
That's another thing.
And it's going to be guys like Ron here that keep communications moving, because if you might be able to see, but down underneath all of this are car battery backups for all of his equipment, so he stays in touch no matter what happens. Power comes or goes.
If I lose power here at the house, I've got 2 deep cycle marine batteries there that will power my radios. It'll power my lights in my room here.
Yeah.
So I'm self-sufficient right here as we're sitting.
That's incredible.
So I don't need any consumer's power or anything like that. I can run all my own power right here.
Awesome stuff. Make sure you're down at the park this weekend. All the details are going to be right here on the Muskegon channel. Dude, thank you so much for putting up with me. Thanks for giving the story. Thanks for taking your time getting here. And I'm promising you, I'm going to be one of the ham radio operators down there with these guys before too long. All the details are right here on the Muskegon channel. Ron, thanks again, man.
Thank you.